Hello everybody, I'm here for the next couple of chapters of Crindle Cracks. It's been a while because it's had the half term, but I'm back with chapter 29. So let's find out what's going to happen to Ruskin. The last we found, he had discovered that his dad was the reason the Crindle Cracks was released. And so Ruskin feels very, very guilty because he now knows that if it wasn't for his dad, Corky would not have white hair and he wouldn't have a limp. So he feels a bit ashamed around Corky at the moment. So chapter 29. That day, Mr. Lace continued rehearsing Young Hall Oak Tree. Elvis was still having trouble with his lines. You scary thing of, Elvis said. Then his voice trailed away. The dark, prompted Mr. Lace from behind the piano. The dark, exclaimed Elvis, holding his plastic sword a little higher and staring at the cardboard dragon. You will scare us no more. I am not, Elvis forgot his lines again. Afraid, prompted Mr. Lace. Afraid, Elvis exclaimed. I am not afraid. I have tamed you, prompted Mr. Lace, putting another pencil in his mouth, making 3 in all. Tamed you, and now I am your master. Master, said Elvis. But he was obviously fed up with the rehearsal because he had put down his sword and shield and had started bouncing his football. Da-boing, da-boing. Mr. Lace said, Elvis, you must learn your lines. Oh, I will, said Elvis casually. I'm serious, said Mr. Lace, putting another pencil in his mouth, making 4 in all, and waving his hands in the air. When I've learned my lines, Elvis said, I'll be the best actor in the world. And he glared at Ruskin, waiting for him to contradict this. But Ruskin had his mind on other things, so he just stared at Elvis in silence. Chapter 30. After school, Ruskin rushed out of the classroom to avoid Elvis, who was still wanted to get him, and ran across the playground to avoid Corky. But Corky was at the main gate, already sweeping the playground, and it was impossible for Ruskin to get out without passing him. Hello, my dear boy, Corky said, putting his hand on Ruskin's shoulder. Going to help me clean the playground? Ruskin stood still and stared at his feet. No, Ruskin said softly. Oh, Corky said, why not? No reason. Have I done something to upset you? No, not you. Then who? Has Elvis been picking on you again? It's not Elvis, Ruskin said, still staring at his feet. Look at me, my dear boy, Corky said. Ruskin looked at Corky. Tell me what's wrong, Corky said. We can't be friends anymore, Ruskin told him. Why? Asked Corky. I can't tell you, Ruskin said. Please don't make me. Ruskin ran out of the playground and down Lizard Street as fast as he could. Ruskin, Corky called after him. Ruskin, come back. But Ruskin didn't go back. He just kept on running past Mr. and Mrs. Cave's pub, past Mrs. Walnut's shop, past Mr. Flick's cinema, past Mr. Lace's house, with its window boxes full of marigolds, and past Dr. Flowers' house, where the doctor could be heard sneezing, tissue, tissue. There's Ruskin running away from Corky. Chapter 31. Ruskin sat on the curb outside his house and buried his face in his hands. He could hear the dragon going clunk and the pub sign go eek. So now I've got no friends left at all, he thought. Once I had Sparky and now Sparky is gone. Once I had Corky and now Corky is gone. Perhaps that's the way it will always be. Perhaps we're not meant to have friends forever, just for little whiles. But what will I do without Corky? Ruskin continued thinking. No more talking to him about all the plays I've read. No more listening to his stories and watching him lick the chocolate from biscuits. No more helping him sweep the school playground and going to the cinema to see black and white films. Ruskin was in the midst of his thoughts when he heard something right in front of him. Da-boing. We all know who that's going to be, don't we? And we'll have to find out for sure tomorrow. Bye, everyone.